You deserved everything you got. This is a union city.
That is a Philadelphia tradition.
Seize the means of podcasting.
Oh God, the boss has crushed us.
Let me tell you one thing else.
In oldie-timey times,
Who said it? Kanye West or Thomas
we
Paine?
will not raw dog reality for that one.
The pleasure of the flesh is in solidarity.
The Scab Buster.
It's gonna be wholly unprofessional.
Keep together strong. Let that be your mantra.
Hello and welcome to the Labor John Pod. Hello and welcome.
We better use all of this.
I'm not gonna look at you. I'm gonna literally put my hands over my eyes like I'm a 3-year-old playing hide and go seek. Hello and welcome to the Labor John podcast, where we jawn about working class history in and around Philadelphia and the surrounding world. My name is Sam James. I'm the co-host, and you are
Gabe Christie, the other co-host of the co-host, and we are joined today by Mr. Sean Connolly, resident raccoon.
for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Mary, old billing and loan pal, sure.
For one reason. And today we're going to learn about
The Battle of Reyburn Plaza.
I like it.
So we're gonna go back to the Great Depression. So
We haven't left it.
Yeah, that's fair. Obviously, during the Depression, tensions across the city were pretty high because there were a lot of unemployed people who were facing eviction and, kind of starvation. As we discussed in our episode covering the Great Depression more broadly, the city kind of relied on public charity to solve everything rather than actually doing anything itself. There was some relief, but by the spring of 1932, that relief had run out. While trying to maintain relief, I'm going to just keep saying the word relief. So they had been trying to maintain relief for 57,000 families. They were never really able to provide much, and then they ran out of money and couldn't even provide that.
What a relief.
Yeah. So city council still wasn't willing to establish a more direct support structure. So yeah, basically the 57,000 families and everybody else were just kind of left to deal with deal with it for themselves. So the summer of 1932 was not a fun time. And there were a bunch of mutual aids that started to pop up. So that not individual citizens, but smaller communities would just help each other out, and trying to really just keep everybody alive was where they were at.
Adequate.
Yeah. So a lot of them were founded again by the Communist Party.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh, no.
one of these groups was the Northeast Unemployed Citizens League, which was formed out of 1,000 textile workers. So the Unemployed Citizens Leagues were one of the big organizing drives of the Communist Party in the 30s. And it was basically gathering all of the pissed off unemployed people that didn't want to starve to death on the street.
I love straightforward names.
Yeah. They started resisting evictions, and would create mutual aids and direct action campaigns to help feed each other, and keep everybody alive.
People helping people.
Yeah. So actually, we just jumped right into the Battle of Reyburn Plaza.
Okay.
So,
all right.
As the summer of 32 continued and all of the relief dried up and people burnt through whatever savings they might have had, there was more and more agitation, and basically everybody was starving and angry, and tensions got really high. On August 25th, 1932, when about 1,500 workers gathered at Reyburn Plaza, which is where the Municipal Services Building is now. The Rizzo statue used to be.
Oh.
Yeah. So
we love Rizzo on this podcast.
Mhm.
This is a great guy.
Yeah.
You crumb bum.
Yeah, a bit of a fairy boy, aren't you? A bit of crumb bum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna put my dog in the house. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna knock your lights out. Get back in that van. I can't do a Rizzo impression. Can you do a Rizzo impression?
Let me put my dog away, and I'll come back and show you what a real man can do.
That's pretty good. In a little bit. I think like somewhere between us is a good Jimmy Rizzo. Is a good Jimmy Rizzo impression. Can you do a Jimmy Rizzo impression?
Somewhere in South Philly, there is a Jimmy Rizzo who was really confused.
Let's kneecap some people, Mary. Come on, Clarence.
I like it.
So the city, so those 1,500 workers had gathered. The city was kind of willing to allow them to gather, but they told them that they had to keep moving. So they couldn't be in one spot. They could just keep marching around the city.
Oh.
Which was kind of weird. But so those workers refused to move. And they're like, no, we're going to stay here. Because at that point, a bunch of speakers from the Communist Party had all showed up. And they started preaching to the crowd.
Ooh, okay.
And then they all started demanding, or then the crowd started to demand food and aid and jobs. Police didn't like that. So they stormed into the crowd and started attacking them.
Led by Jimmy Rizzo.
Yeah.
Mary!
Good God.
I'm going to hit you, Bert. I'll hit you.
So they arrested a bunch of the demonstrators, including John Parks, who was the organizer. But then the weird thing that kind of happened while all of this was going on is one of the demands of the organizers was that they again elected a little commission to go talk to city council.
Yeah.
And one of their demands was that their commission was allowed to go, or one of their little group was allowed to go and talk to city council. And that demand got met. So while the cops were storming the demonstration and beating everyone, their representatives went up to city council.
Oh.
And were actually allowed to talk.
First order of business. If you look out your window.
Yeah. Can you not beat us to death? That would be really nice. But city council still wasn't willing to listen to them. So they continued to drag their feet on any kind of response until March of 1933, when the New Deal came into effect. And then there was some relief coming.